That means eating less salt, fat, exercising.
Skip over that next.
All right, okay, don't smoke. And then lose weight. Then lose weight if you're overweight. All right. Control your high blood pressure if you have it. Get on high blood pressure medication or do some other things. You know, maybe some individuals, you know, are on herbs, and that helps them to lower their blood pressure. Control your diabetes if you have it. And then avoid over-the-counter pain medicines, such as this acronym here. That what those really are. Say again, what was that? Yeah. Okay, what those are Aleve. What's that other? Advil. In other words, what's that? Naproxen. Okay. In other words, those over-the-counter pills that really do work. But I mean, I'm not suggesting at all that you don't go to those. You know, still use those, but don't you have to go and pop one every time you have a little, you know, you pinch yourself and then, oh, ouch, oh, I gotta take a pill. Those pills, they have ibuprofen in them, and that's not so good for you. Okay. Now those, if I have a problem, you know, the other week, a few weeks ago, you all saw me when I had my back went out. I was limited in terms of what I could take. I really was. I went to the doctor and they gave me some Flexeril, and I've had that. I've used that before, and I used it one other time, and boom, it was gone. Just as quickly, but this last time, gosh, it took me over, almost a month before that pain was gone. So you have to really be careful about what you're taking, those pain pills that you're taking.
Dick McConnell, also on all those medicines you name, if you turn the bottle over, it'll say warning if you have kidney disease,
Yes.
if you have liver disease, thyroid, whatever, it'll tell you consult your physician
Absolutely.
before you even take that.
Absolutely.
But most of us don't even read that part. We just want to know how many can I take right now. But read all that stuff because the warning is on there.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. We're coming to an end. Now, I want you to raise your hand if you now feel more comfortable with your knowledge of what kidneys do and why they're important to your health. Right, I like that. Right, okay. Now, raise your hand if you feel less comfortable, you didn't learn anything, or, oh, that was a waste of my time. Raise your hand. Now, come on, you know, kind of like Carla, you know, he'll jump out there and do it. Come on. No, seriously. Again, this is all about just awareness. And everybody has to, on their own, make a determination as to whether or not you're going to take heed and do, you know, kind of maybe tweak yourself in terms of your habits, how you operate. You know, it's kind of like up to each one of you, each one of us. So, what are your questions? What are your comments or what are your questions?
I have a question. I've been told that too much soda pop, and I drink at least 2 cans a day. I try to drink light and I drink them dark. I drink a Coke or a Pepsi and then a Sprite or a 7-Up. I'm addicted to soda pop. And somebody tell me I shouldn't drink all that pop because it's bad on your kidneys, but I have not been told by the doctor that I can drink it.
Okay.
Is that a big?
Does that have any kind of an impact as far as you never have any swelling?
No, well, I get my blood work every 6 months, and he always tells me everything is okay, including my kidneys, because that's on that thing there. And I do have a controlled blood pressure.
Wonderful.
Take medicine for that, but I'm still drinking my soda pop.
All right. Yes.
I want us to be very, very careful now. We don't want to drag him into analyzing.
Okay.
He has done a circumscribed presentation. And the things within the context of that presentation is all right. He's not no medical doctor,
That's
so
right.
we don't want him giving no advice that I'm not being
Right.
That's the truth. And so, I think he's done his job real well.
Amen.
He may want to ask, but in about the question of the ought to be directly associated with what you've seen on that chart today. And I'm not being funny, I just don't want to try to give him a call. He's not no physician.
You named 3 ways that you could dialyze. Is there a reason why one person would do it one way and another person would do it another way?
Simply because one reason would be just because of convenience. Convenience. Let's just say, in my case, when I decided to do peritoneal dialysis, and that gave me an opportunity to I could still go about doing literally what I wanted to do, instead of going to a center and sitting there for about 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, so you can make a choice.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to say also, it's really important, people that are on medications, and the doctor tells you that you need to have your kidneys or blood taken and everything every so often, because you're on that medication. One of the problems can be like kidney failure, such as your statin medicines for cholesterol. So if you're on that, make sure you get your checks.
Absolutely right. For sure. Thank you. Anything else? Yes.
When you were talking about the Advil and the leaves, and you were saying to be careful about taking those and taking too many. I know Carolyn said that it tells you on there, like, if you have kidney disease. But I think, were you trying to also say that regardless, because like you didn't even know that you had kidney disease, so
Right.
regardless, that's something we need to watch and
Absolutely.
be, not just if we have it, because even if we don't know we have it,
That's right.
to be careful of it.
Absolutely, just because of the all the stuff that's in it. I mean, it can have a damaging effect on your body. You know, even if you don't have kidney disease, it can bring on something. It possibly could bring on some other issues. So,
Did you have any symptoms other than, like you say, any pain or anything like that?
no pain. Okay. The first time I had renal failure, again, when I had the symptoms, and there's a point there, when you start having the symptoms, it's too late.
Oh,
It's too late. Yeah, you have it. The symptoms are latent. They come afterwards. After you have renal failure, you receive the symptoms because your kidneys are no longer working. So therefore, you will get some symptoms. The symptoms that I had personally, and that I've heard other individuals kind of speak of, and you may have seen this happen in some people. And the reason for this is, again, because the kidneys aren't filtering the waste products. So you got a lot of scratching and itching all over your body. I didn't know what was going on. That's what was going on with me. I had a lot of itching going on. I went out and bought Gold Bond powder. I'm serious. I mean, Gold Bond was the thing. That was the panacea for anything. Gold Bond powder, Gold Bond cream. I went out and bought me a truckload of Gold Bond. That didn't do anything for me because it was within, from the internal. It wasn't external. It was internal. It was because my kidneys weren't doing their job. So I had itching. Also, what I was having was a lot of nausea and vomiting. I tried to vomit, but I couldn't vomit. And again, it was all because of all those wastes inside of me. The system was poisoning itself, and I could not get any relief. That's how I would start my every day for the time that I was in Europe. And when I came back, that's when I went to the doctor. That's when the doctor told me that I had kidney disease. Had I gone to Korea the following week without going to see my doctor, I would have died. I would have died in flight. Korea from here is about 19 hours. 19-hour flight. Once you get to either Detroit or Minneapolis, then from there it's about a 15-hour, and you go to Tokyo, and then you go into Korea. I wouldn't have made it. I
Let's
mean,
give
I
a big
just,
round of applause.